Featuring 6 Super Bowl wins with the Patriots, Tom Brady is no doubt the GOAT here in New England, and now there's a biopic in the works about his life on and off the field.
We're joined now by author Dave Wedge to talk about the upcoming scripted series, The Patriot Way, based off his book 12, the inside story of Tom Brady's fight for redemption. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us today.
Thank you guys. How are you?
Great. It's so nice to have you. Can you first tell us about the book that you wrote and why you wanted to write it?
Sure. So Casey Sherman, my co-author, and I had done a couple of books together. We did Boston Strong there, which became the Mark Wahlberg movie Patriots Day. And then we did a book about the Ice Bucket Challenge. We were kind of thinking about what to do next, and Deflategate happened. And, you know, at first we were like, oh, it's kind of silly and absurd, but then it grew into this literal federal case. And it really just exposed the, you know, the palace intrigue that goes on between the NFL and the owners and the players. And then the awesome Super Bowl happened with the Falcons, the 28-3 game. So we're like, all right, well, I think we have our ending. So we, you know, put our nose to the grindstone and wrote the book.
So this is a scripted series played by actors reflecting the life of Tom Brady here in New England. A lot of times with these series, people want that little tidbit about information that they might not know. Are we going to see some of these surprises? And can you reveal any surprises to us?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, the book made a lot of news when it came out. You know, we had a lot of details about things that happened with Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo, if you remember that whole situation when Belichick drafted him, and there was some friction there, and you know, some friction between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And also, you know, when Deflategate happened, there was certainly a fracture there in that relationship. And we write a lot about that in the book. So all that stuff will be in there, as well as, you know, a lot of the, you know, all the off-field stuff that we've all been following. You know, Spygate, Giselle, you know, Bridget Moynihan, you know, all that stuff. If you look, it was a 20-year run, the greatest run in sports history, but it was also like watching a massive soap opera. It really was. And it was different things every day. And I think that's what the series is going to try to capture.
What's the process like of turning your book into this scripted series, and how involved are you in that process?
Yeah, well, Casey and I will be producers on the project. We're part of the creative team. We're working with the same writers that wrote Patriots Day. They also wrote The Finest Hours, which is a book that Casey wrote, and they wrote The Fighter. So these guys, their name's Paul Tamasy and Eric Johnson. They're fantastic writers, directors, Hollywood guys, and we've got a great working relationship with them, and they really get us. They get Boston. They get the whole vibe that we need to have to make this show authentic and work. And I think it's a great team, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
How do you get some of these secret little tidbits? Is it from exclusive interviews?
You're a reporter, you know, Tiffany. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's just working sources, and, you know, Casey and I have built a pretty good reputation here of you know, being accurate and authentic. We've tackled some of the biggest stories that have happened in Boston's history, and we're proud of that, and I think people respect that. So I think people are willing to talk to us a little more than maybe some other folks. So.
Any idea when we'll get to see this biopic?
Well, we're hoping to get it into production sooner than later. We're in talks with a bunch of networks now, and we'll hopefully have some more news soon that we can share, and I'll come back on.
Yes.
You know, and you know, we'll hopefully, if we're able to, you know, get this thing made, we'll hopefully do some premieres here in Boston.
I know that we haven't you haven't hit casting yet, but I'm going to say my favorite to play Tom might be Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
He's got the height, he's got the look. He's got that charisma. I don't know how his throw is, but that's my...
He can practice.
So that's what's super fun about this is, you know, a lot of when the story broke that we were doing this series, there's been a lot of those type of stories, like who should play Tom Brady, like People Magazine.
It's a big
does.
question.
And it makes our job easier when we do get to casting.
Narrow it down.
Like, well, you know, there's been a lot of names, like Chris Hemsworth has been thrown around. Chris Evans is someone that's been thrown around.
Oh, and he's from around here, so yeah.
So I think there's a lot of potential folks, and, you know, it'll be really fun to cast someone like Belichick. You know, like, I don't know, Woody Harrelson, you know, who knows, you know, so people like that. But, and, you know, obviously Bob Kraft and Giselle, you know.
That'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun process when we get to casting.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds binge-worthy already.
Yes,
Thank you
does.
for joining us, author Dave Wedge.